Hey, what's up everybody? What's going on everybody? Today we're going to be building a mini FPV little monitor. So we showed this off on yesterday's show. We go over the overhead. Yep, check it out guys. This itty bitty cute little 2.5 inch TFT little monitor that helps you see where your drone is looking at. Yeah, your quadcopter or multi-rotor or any type of multi-rotor. So this little guy features a little slide switch on the side there, so you can turn that on and off. You can also switch between your channel, your bands, and even adjust the brightness. And you got a nice little window there so you can see what band or channel that you are tuned into. So primarily we built this so you could go to like a racing event and you could be like a spectator, so you could tune in, see what all of your favorite racer is looking at. And this is just also a cost-effective way to get into FPV. Instead of spending $400 more on some goggles, you can build your own small FPV monitor. Yeah, it's small enough to throw in your bucket if you go to an event, or big enough to even throw on your transmitter and use it as a little backup. Yeah. Or somebody could spot you if you're like over a cliff or something, you don't want to fall over. Sure. So that's what we're going to be building today. Okay, do you want to go over the parts? Yeah, so the magic that's making everything work is this little guy here. It's an eSheen FPV ER32 VRX receiver. This guy here? Yep, the little guy in the black there. All right. So that does all the channels and does the receiving, receiving all the channels. Yeah. Okay. So you can just pick that guy up over at Amazon. It's what is it, $23? Yeah, I think it was actually like $18 when I bought it. Wow. It's weird the way the prices fluctuate. Sure. On there. It comes with an antenna. Comes with an antenna, but I opted to get this what's it called, Cloverfield? Oh, a Cloverfield type antenna. So the one I went with was this Anabi. Oh, let me switch over to that right there. So this is the antenna that is, so it's like what's the connector? So like a UFL? I forget, it says on there. Standard connector. Yeah, standard connector. But here's a little guy here. Like we were saying, it's from Anabi. Okay, we'll link it in the guide too. I noticed it wasn't linked. Yeah, so it's like $10 for two of them, which is really cool. Nice. So we got two of these. It's on the other one over there. And this is a very nice little module. Everything comes already on. The whole board is very small, very compact. And like I was saying, you have access to your channel, your band. The brightness is on the display that we have in the Adafruit shop. How do you connect the display to it? So we're just going to be soldering everything together. It comes with like a bunch of connections. So you have like composite is the way that all these are working, so you could do the overlays for your altitude. Okay. Yeah. So RCA type. RCA jack deal. Yeah. Just two wires? For the ground and for the video. Yeah. Positive video, positive negative for the video, and then the power. Cool thing about this is that it has a wide range of channels, voltages that you can work with. So you can run it off like a 3S type battery. Actual LiPo. All right. What are you running it off of? Quadcopter battery. Right, yeah. So it comes with a bunch of different connections for that. We're going to be running it off our PowerBoost 1000C. Okay, and that provides 5 volts. Yeah. What kind of battery is connected to the PowerBoost? So this is a little 500 mil LiPo battery. 3.7 volts. Yeah, so the PowerBoost will bump it up to 5 volts and keep it constant. Yep. And that's just what the little driver needs. How about the display? We're going to use PowerBoost to power both the receiver and the display. Yeah, so it's about 1 amp going to those guys? Yep. Okay. So let's talk about the display. It's 2.5 inch TFT display. Yep. What's the resolution? Composite in there. It has 320 by 240. Okay. You have all your connections in here. Again, we're going to be soldering directly to it to make everything nice and compact. You have your little brightness button here that we're going to extend out so we can get to the lid part. Over here? Right, so it's on the enclosure. Okay, so you got a couple controls. It's brightness and, of course, the channel. So I guess we could talk about the parts now. This was designed in Fusion 360. Yep. And it's a tiny little display there. And everything just snap fits together. So that's a cool part about that.
There it goes.
It snaps like that. There's no screws required, and the tolerances for this are very tight, so it's not just going to fall apart on you. We're using the new little lip,
clamp lip mechanism
that we've been using.
Cool.
So start off, first thing we want to do is clean up our part. So just take our flat pliers here and just rip off all of the support material that we have on here.
Yeah.
Very easy. We're using Simplify 3D
okay.
for this.
These this little part here is for a little hinge, a GoPro style hinge, so that you can articulate it.
Yep.
So you can adjust the angle of the display.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you can mount it to anything, right? But for this project, you've made a specific mount for mounting on the transmitter.
Yeah. So you can actually take this and mount it to like a handle.
Yeah.
Like
that's
these little
great.
handles.
Or your hat or something. Like, can you imagine being on like a bill of your hat? That'd be pretty neat.
So the next thing you want to do is clean out all of the ports. So the slot for the USB here, you can see like a little bit of retraction issues on that. So just clean that up. And you also want to do that because the little, what do you call these little things in here that I made? It like holds the LCD in place, or the TFT in place, so it doesn't wiggle around. So you want to make sure all those are cleaned out so that when you're sticking the monitor inside, there's no filament inside that's going to prevent it from fitting inside there.
Sure.
Just want to clean all
now,
that
we know
out.
it's a little dark, you know, just printing in black material. That's sort of the caveat that you get when you print with black material.
Yeah, I
you
should have
can't
did this
see
in
anything.
white. Would have been better because of, you know, the sun outside.
Do you want to try one of those blue ones? Is that?
We could.
I mean, you could. Just to, maybe you might see it better.
Yeah.
It's just really dark.
Yeah,
there you go. That
like.
looks way better.
Yeah, so all we're doing is cleaning out the ports here.
Yeah.
Remove the support material from that there. And it very easy support to lay out and Simplify 3D. You definitely want to do it manually because otherwise it'll try to stick supports everywhere, like inside the holes. And
yeah, you don't need them there. Or even like the little USB. So this is rechargeable. I don't know if we mentioned that.
Yes.
But the Power Boost
1000C
does have a charging circuit, so you can just charge your LiPo. You don't have to take apart the thing. Once it's built, you're pretty much good. You don't have to take it apart.
Yep. New design that we have going here for holding the slide switch in place, which is, again, very cool. It just slides right in there at an angle, and it keeps it from moving.
Yeah, there's little guards behind the slide component, and then it just, it won't get pushed into the enclosure.
That's so weird how we're excited over tiny little parts that make a big difference when you're mounting everything.
Yeah.
If we take a look at the lid here, just like one itty-bitty little baby support. The slots that maintain the buttons inside there. So this little guy here, just remove those as well. Clean this up. And if you go over into the guide, you can take a look at how I set up all the support structures.
Cool. That will be in the 3D printing
section. Scroll down on those ports. You can see what I was talking about earlier.
Cool. So they're just laid down on the flat there.
Yeah.
And right here as well. Just like one.
So when you're laying those out, you want to make sure to stay away from the wall so the support material doesn't fuse.
Okay.
So it just pops off easily like that.
That's a nice shot.
Yeah.
So you can just
really hard shot to get to make sure that the shine actually, because it's black.
Yeah, black on black is not the best, but you know, it's what we have.
Yeah, it's one of those times where it was like, I don't want to change out the filament. Black's already in there. That should be fine.
Right. It happens.
Next thing you want to do to mount your buttons in place, go in there like that.
Do you want me to switch it?
Yep, switch it over. With your hobby blade, you want to make sure that you, if your tolerances are super tight, just a tiny bit you want to remove so that you can mount these guys in place. But before you do that, actually, you have to take your little 6mm slim buttons we got here, and you see how they are set up for putting on a breadboard. Want to straighten those guys out. So you take your flat pliers again, and you just get it in there. I'm gonna flatten this guy out like that. Like that. Get that bend out of there. And then push it in just a little bit like that towards each pin, towards like the inside. And then what you want to do is that there's holes right here that they stick out of. That's what we're going to tin and solder to extend the channel band and brightness. So what you do is you just put these in there like this.
Oh, you have to mount them before you solder the wires to it?
Yeah, because then you don't want to thread the
needle
wires through there, yeah. And they should pop in just like that. There you go. And you can push them all the way in like that, or if you prefer, you can keep them a little bit out. But the actuator does stick out even with it completely mounted all the way inside. Right so on. Up to you. I like it all the way inside. There, like
nice and flush.
Nice and flush. Like that. And then we'll take the last one here. Do the same thing there. Straighten these pins out. Bring them in. Just mount these guys in place. Oop. Alright, cool. And now our buttons are all mounted. You can see the pins. I'll stick out just a teeny bit, just enough so you can tin these guys up. Actually, let me push this one a little bit further in, like so. So you want to have them sticking out a little bit. And the height of the case is so that these aren't going to touch anything. And then when you have the silicone coated wires over soldered onto them, they'll provide like a cushion. Cool. All right, so let's move on over to the display, the driver for the display. To make this easier, we're going to detach the monitor. So we'll just push forward on this little black bar here, the little thing that locks it in place. I can get my thumb in there. This guy just comes off like that. And we're just going to add this to our pan of ice here, so we can easily hold that. So let me turn this around. Yep. Since the thing we're going to be soldering to is all these little pins right here.
You want to try to center it a little bit? Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely going to need a steady hand to be able to solder these little guys here.
I can't see on the monitor.
See it, yeah. I think that's the closest you can zoom in too, right?
Well, yeah, but we can also adjust the overhead camera, like just drop it down a bit.
Okay. Let's see. How's that?
Yeah, it's good. Maybe, yeah.
Cool. There we go. If we jump over to our circuit diagram, you can take a look at what all of the connections are for that.
Okay. Circuit diagram is right over here under circuit diagram.
Yeah, it's got its own page. And I got my little cheat sheet here over here as well.
Oh, here it is. Cool.
Actually, it's this way.
So which connection are you doing first?
Okay, so first we're going to do in order. So the first one's going to be the 5 volt. This is what's going to connect to the power boost. And then the ground is right next to that.
Okay, so these two wires here.
Mm-hmm. Right next to that is going to be the composite negative. And then the last one right here is going to be the composite positive. So sort of boring you guys with tinning and measuring the wires for that, which I also have tips on how to measure that, the way you want to lay out. Mm-hmm. So your wires will be long enough to disassemble if you need to, and then put back together. We have all those steps in the learning guide as well. So I already went ahead and cut and tinned all of my wires.
Yeah, that could be time consuming.
Oh yeah, as we saw in the Star Trek communicator build stream, that took a lot of time to do. Mm-hmm. But I'll go in here and tin these guys here. So I'll just do that.
Welcome folks in the chat room. We have Ross in the chat room. Cool
welcome,
Crawler.
welcome.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, so for those of you tuning in, we are building the little mini FPV project. If you want to play a B-roll of what that looks like.
Yeah, I will. Real quick, Ross is asking if the GoPro style mount, the knuckles that's on the Enclosure, if it actually compatible with an actual GoPro mount.
Yes, we are actually using the
real GoPro
knuckles,
mount.
Yeah. There we go. So this is from, because we have so many of these lying around everywhere.
Yeah, we got quite a few GoPro accessories, as most folks might if they have a GoPro.
Yep.
So yeah, totally compatible. Tolerances should work out just fine.
And in the learning guide there, I also mentioned if you want to build your own, I think it's an M8 or M5 screw.
Oh, screw. Great.
Yeah, so you can use that if you don't have any around.
Great.
But
I'll run the B-roll after, because you're about to do some soldering. Soldering.
So just tinning all these guys up.
Whoa, super tiny. What soldering iron are you using?
So we're using the Haku, the FX88 8D.
Okay, what temperature?
750.
It's just everybody always asks, what soldering? What temperature?
And a lot of people always say, that's too hot.
No, that's fine.
That's what the default was. So we're using here Phil B's very awesome teeny tiny fume extractor.
This is great.
Project on learning system if you want to build your own. So there's a power boost inside there, a little rechargeable battery, and the fan. And that's pretty much it. That and the carbon filter, of course.
Sure.
All right, so if we take a look over here, I'm going to start with our positive composite. I'm just going to solder that guy on there like so. You see that?
Yeah.
And let me actually go in there with tweezers so I don't have to have my fat fingers in there. If you guys haven't seen these brand new tweezers we have in the shop, so awesome.
Like them?
Oh my god, yeah. Cool. Got that on there. Next up, we have our ground and our power. And our power. I just want to tug on these guys and make sure they're on there good. Alright, cool. Next thing we're going to do is solder on our brightness. Let me look for my brightness. There we go. So this is what's going to extend our brightness button to the lid. Oop, got away there. Clean my tip.
Actually, you're a little off center.
Yeah, actually let me go ahead and flip this around so I can easily
There you go.
easily access that.
Always want to reorient your stuff so that it works with you're right-handed, right?
Yeah.
I'm left-handed, so.
It's funny how that works out, since sometimes you
Sometimes
can't get to an object and you're like, hey, I need a right hand, or hey, I need a left hand over here. Okay, so
yeah.
Actually, let me do it this way. Get a little bit of solder on there just to make it easier.
Yeah. Definitely with non-leaded solder is always a little bit more higher prone to higher temperatures.
It's going to do it on this side so it's closer to me. Pretty well.
Is this 30 gauge or?
This is 30 gauge silicone coated wire, yeah.
Okay.
So it's nice, tiny, flexible. It's a little.
You want to be perfect.
What's that?
You want it to be perfect.
Yeah. we go. Just got to be super careful not to touch the itty bitty little resistors that are over here. Was that there before? I think it was there. Okay, cool. So we got our brightness controls here. So get this guy over here. Next thing we're going to solder up is the receiver. Same deal with this guy. We're going to solder to all these pins right here. So if we jump over to the diagram, you can see all of the layout for that. Also, the little booklet that comes with the transmitter has a nice little illustration of how everything is laid out. And you definitely want to keep this around because it has all of your bands
channels.
and your
Oh,
channels,
okay.
yeah, the frequency and all that stuff.
How do you decipher what channel it's on the
So you got to
transmitter
look at your
or receiver?
quadcopter. You got to look at the your booklet for that too, because it'll
Okay.
tell you which way to flip the switches. There's
Right.
4 switches on there, up and down.
Right.
And it'll tell you which way to flip them to get the desired frequency.
Okay. And then on the back of the receiver, there's these little LEDs, surface mounted LEDs that tell you which.
It's actually these guys right here, yeah.
Those little guys are
little
LEDs. Okay.
Teeny tiny little guys there. Okay, so we're gonna start soldering this guy up. So I'm gonna need these 3 right here. Clean my tip.
While you do that, I'll take some questions here. To save space, why not desolder and remove the connector for the composite and power?
You know what? I definitely should.
You could do that.
Yeah,
definitely.
but that is a pain in the butt.
That's actually what somebody said too. It's a little bit harder.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
cool.
thought about that, and then I was like, man, not everybody has access to a heat gun, or not heat gun,
Yeah, airflow.
an airflow thing.
Gun.
Yeah, we always got to take in consideration how many. We want this to be replicatable and not a pain in the butt to do.
Yeah. I mean, it's relative.
Yeah,
But
we could.
whatever.
We've done that before with like the Pi 8 Plus, where we like desoldered all of the USB connections to make it as flat as possible,
Yeah.
and then in the end,
Rob
We
is
didn't do that.
asking how much did he miss. He just tuned in. It's okay. You can check the archive. But we just did like what is it, step 2 or 3,
yeah,
maybe 4. It's all good.
yeah, you can watch the playback.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So which are you soldering right now?
We are soldering
Composite?
it's going to be composite. So it's from this guy right here, the display.
Okay.
So the very end one over here is going to be for power, and then right next to it's going to be ground, and then positive composite, the third one right here.
Okay. And you're just
then-
referencing your wiring
Yeah,
diagram.
referencing the wire, and then second to the last is going to be the negative composite.
Cool.
Okay, so let's go ahead and start soldering these guys.
So if you're building this, definitely recommend either having the circuit diagram on your phone or print it out on a sheet of paper.
Yeah. Yeah, just reference your phone, which I'm doing here.
Or tablet, whatever device.
Yeah, negative. Okay. So this guy will go first, and this will be the 3rd pin over. Let's see if I can get this over. This is the 3rd one here. Is positive composites. Are on there. And then the negative composite. This will be second to the last. It's going to be right here.
Oh, here's a question from Team Smile TV. Hey guys, I have a question. I want to make something cool with my Raspberry Pi and photoresistor. Can you give me an interesting idea? What can I make? Photoresistor and Raspberry Pi. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I haven't played too much with the photoresistor, but I would check out the learning guides, Adafruit learning system, see if there's anything cool there.
Right off the top of my head, I can think of maybe a video plays when light hits it or something.
Or
like
when light turns off.
Or when light turns off.
Yeah, those are always nice and easy projects to do.
Yeah.
Like maybe some, there's some NeoPixels, maybe when it goes dark, the Raspberry Pi will sense the photoresistor and turn on NeoPixels using like the NeoPixel library, the Python library. Those are some cool ones. But yeah, ask around in the community too.
So in the background, we're printing some more dual extrusion tests with the BCN 3D, which we figured out that 5mm retraction is the setting that makes everything nice and beautiful. Okay, so those guys are all soldered up.
Okay, so what are these connections again?
Power, positive, negative for the receiver. And then we got compositive, positive, and negative composite.
Okay, these are going to the driver, huh?
Yeah.
The TFT driver?
Yep, so let me disconnect that so
and
you can
then
see.
the power boost is going to connect to the driver?
So the power boost, let's see, this guy's going to go in these guys right here.
We can't see, Pedro.
Oh. So it's
So
going
there's
to
the power
go
boost.
like that and like that. So
Got it, okay.
Receiver is going to go into positive, negative here, and then this guy's going to go into 5 volts and ground.
Cool, that's right. There's multiple power in inputs.
So this guy's going splitting the power like that. Okay, next up we're going to solder on the extensions onto the receiver for channel
Buttons.
and band.
Buttons. Who's got the button?
We'll start off with band here. Actually, I should start off.
Hey, Kirby's in the chat room. Welcome, buddy.
What's up, Kirby? I saw a comment on the water balloon fight we were having with Gavin.
What was the comment?
You said we should have dropped it from a drone. I did see somebody in the DJI community was able to access their auxiliary with the extra buttons that you have on the controller to move a servo.
Okay.
So that would be an
So a little
awesome
3D
project.
printed claw and it opens.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
So definitely something to look at. Alright, so we're just doing this guy here.
I guess it doesn't matter which
For
order
this,
the buttons.
It doesn't, yeah.
So
Doesn't feel like it's
one button does frequency and another one does channel.
Yeah. Make sure those are on there nice.
Super tiny, man.
Yeah,
we need a microscope, dude.
Really?
Well, it'd be really nice to have like a HDMI microscope.
Yeah, no. We're gonna have to since we're gonna do a lot more of these.
Right. Okay.
Since these are super handy to add to the learning guide.
Yep.
The next one that you're gonna do, Noah, is building
Pygro?
the Pygro.
Yeah, sure.
From scratch.
Pygro 0.
A lot of requests for that one.
Yeah, I'll have to pre-make my wires too.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot.
All right. It looks to be all on there. All right, cool. Done with that. Now we can move over to soldering everything to the power boost.
Yay.
Is this all in frame?
Yep.
Okay, so according to my little diagram here, this guy is going to get the positive and negative. Just tune these guys up real quick. positive in here. Oh, should have held that on better.
Oh, did it come
Panavice.
off the Panavice? Yeah.
Yeah,
Whoops.
or tighter. Oh, but it's in there. And I like sticking the wires through the holes
hole
there.
That's tough. Sometimes I used to do that too a lot, but now I don't because there's enough area on the pad because it's like a little bit more exposed.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
So I just do it like downways because
I push
sometimes
it
your
through.
board it makes your board thinner if you're wiring it.
Oh, you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like horizontally.
Oh, you're
wise.
right. Definitely could.
So, it's personal preference, whatever you guys want.
Well,
As long
that
as it's a
or
strong
build.
joint and not cold.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it depends too. If you need it to be completely flat, then,
Yeah.
or if you need to solder it to the bottom. Yeah.
Oh, you put mounting tack already in the bottom?
Yes. So
funny.
because this is all going to mount to the bottom of the display, there's
Yeah.
like no standoffs anywhere.
Right.
To make this as flat as I could.
Okay. Well, that's cool. You get some degrees of freedom there, wherever you
Yeah,
want to position it, I guess.
But it holds on very well.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, mounting tack is the shiz.
Use it a ton.
It's not permanent, but it can be.
Is it still on frame?
You
like
can move it
it's-
up a bit. Yeah, there you go. So I don't know what the battery life is, but well, it's 500 milliamps, but I don't know how much it's drawing. But it's lasted a minute. Like it lasted.
Yeah.
It will definitely last like 2 or 3, maybe even
So
4
a lot of
sessions. So like
the-
7 minutes each session.
Yeah. So the flight time for the racing quadcopters is like under 7 minutes.
Yeah, it's like 6:30. 7 if you're super lucky and you're not like pushing it. You're not
Yeah.
punching
So
it.
it'll last you.
It'll last
at
a
least
while.
through that.
It's crazy,
yeah. You see.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always challenging getting an overhead shot because your fingers and your solder iron will just cover the pin. You won't be able to see.
Yeah. Okay. So we got power on both these guys here.
For power, you're using a thicker wire, or is it still 30?
Nope.
Okay.
All 30 on these.
Great.
It didn't like it all get like there's no shortages, there's no cutouts.
No, it's
works
good.
perfect. Yeah.
Yep. You
All
want
right,
to use
all
26
soldered up
gauge
here.
when you have something that's power hungry like NeoPixels.
Yeah, yeah.
This one isn't so much.
Even though we have used the 30 gauge a
Mhm.
bunch on
Yeah, I know.
NeoPixels.
Yeah.
So here is almost our completed circuit here. The only thing we got to do now is solder on our buttons here. So we will attach this to the Panavice.
Ross is asking what's the soldering iron heat. It's default. The Haku's default to 750.
Yeah.
750. I think that's going to be the best temperature to use.
All right, so brightness is going to go on this side here. The way I measured it, it's in the way the board is laid out. That's what is the closest.
Measure the length of wire.
Yes, the length of
Okay.
the wire. So, yep, I'll just tin all these guys up. Is this in frame?
Might want to bring the fume extractor closer.
Oh yeah.
You're like smoking up the.
We need to
fogging up the camera.
we need to edit this so we can put like a quarter 20 on there
Right.
and have it on
Yeah,
a
I've been
tripod.
meaning to.
So we can make it taller.
Yeah. And you gotta be careful not to
Melt
heat up the
yeah.
PLA.
Okay, so brightness is going to go right here.
So brightness is it's just cycles through different intervals,
Different
thresholds
brightnesses, yeah.
of the brightness on the screen. So the driver has that built in, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so that's in there. Actually, let me make this. Angle this down. Actually, let me just flip this around.
There you go.
All right, band is going to go, I think, on this one. Everything in frame?
Yeah, we're good. Been meaning to switch out the tip, the soldering iron tip, to a finer point, just to minimize any accidental.
Definitely
Burnage.
helps, but you can achieve
Yeah,
all these tiny solder points with.
like on the tip, like
yeah.
the tip of the tip.
All right,
edge
so
of
we
the bit.
have a completed circuit here. All the buttons, power boost.
Here, let me zoom out
Oh,
a bit.
one thing we're missing is a slide switch. So for the slide switch, there it is. Because the pins are so long, we want to chop those down to about the height of what this little flap thing is here.
Well, like half, a quarter.
Yeah, so what I do is I'm going to take my pliers here,
Flush pliers.
hold on to that so it doesn't fly everywhere, and then we're just going to snip all these off like that.
Yeah, cool.
Actually, I should have held it the other way so these little guys didn't fly.
That's fine. Yeah.
I show it in the guide.
Learn from Pedro's mistakes.
Well, luckily in the guide it
Shows you how to do it.
shows you the correct way to do that.
Okay.
I should have held on to the, because look at that. I got to make sure that
That
I
doesn't
got
short
all
anything,
those
yeah.
exactly. Where's the third
It's just
one
3.
go?
You're good.
Yeah, all good on that. Okay, for the slide switch, we're going to solder to the enable and ground pins on the power boost.
Yep. EN and GND.
Yeah. That'll enable you to turn it off and charge while it's turned off.
Yeah. It turns off the boost regulator, but keeps the charging circuit on.
Exactly.
If you plug in power source.
So first I'm going to do tin up and wire the slide switch first. That'll be easier. Then this can just dangle. Actually, cut that a little bit.
You only need 2 of the pins,
That
by the
should
way,
be enough.
guys. You don't need all 3.
Yeah.
One in the middle, and then either one on the left or right. Extended.
Yeah.
Snip. I got it. Your little offset, Pedro. If you wanna, there you go.
Now you could add some heat shrink on there, but it's far away that.
Right, and
Yeah, you
it's
shouldn't
enclosed
touch.
in this housing, so shouldn't touch anything.
Okay, so now we're ready to frame this guy up. Things you can see. Now I'll tin these guys up first. So first we'll tin up ground and enable EN and G. And again, I don't think the order matters for this.
Nope,
right?
it doesn't. Because you could always flip the switch if.
Yeah.
Because it only goes left and right.
More questions?
So far nothing. If you guys have any questions, go ahead, drop them down. Oh, Ross is noticing that you're using heat shrink for the alligator clips. Yeah, that's a tip that we got from Colin Cunningham
Yes.
a while back ago. Definitely reduces kinking wires and adding like scuffs or scrapes to your components.
Yeah.
So definitely recommend doing that.
Oh, got some fray on the wire here.
Oh
Fix
no, frame. The caveat of
Yeah,
stranded
yeah.
wire.
So to fix that, I take the flat.
There you go. Just kind of bend it back into shape and then reflow it with the
So
with
twist
the tip
it around
of the,
so it's all nice up against it.
yeah.
And then add some more solder to that.
That's why I don't like to put it through the hole, but you know.
Yeah, that's my main reason as well.
Yeah.
But it can be fixed.
Oh yeah. Worst case, chop it and
Oh yeah.
chop it and try again. You know, chop the exposed wire and try again. So using tweezers really helps out here.
Oh yeah, big time.
Okay.
All these so tiny.
All right. Well, double helps out with the build, and it helps out with the camera
Yeah.
shot, so I can see what you're doing.
Oh yeah. That's one of the main reasons.
Oh yeah.
For us anyway.
Cool.
All right,
I'll
we
zoom
got
out.
all of that. All right, let's go ahead and lay this all back out onto the board. You can reattach this guy.
If you could move it a little bit more to your left. There you go.
Okay, over here. Just add this guy back in. Actually, open this back up again.
You have to be sure the orientation of the ribbon is correct.
Yeah.
So
you
in
can
this
tell by the
case,
way this is.
the exposed pads are like pointing down to the PCB.
Make sure that's locked in there. Okay, good. All right. So now, what we're going to do this is the battery is going to mount right underneath here with our tack. And you want to make sure that it's like not a ton, but a nice amount of tack.
Yeah, that looks like a nice amount of tack.
Yeah, so it can lift it, elevate it away from the board.
Yeah.
And it'll provide some sticking power too. I'm gonna wrap this cable this way like that underneath, and then you're gonna curl this around like that, so you can plug that into the power boost, which we want to make sure is turned off
Oop.
when you plug it in.
Is it off?
Yes, it is
Okay.
off, and we'll just plug it in.
Oh, it's on.
Oh, it's on.
Yep. It's fine. Just turn it off.
Oh no, this slide switch is.
It's busted? Is it really
No.
busted?
No, it's not.
Okay. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you have any
It's
bridging?
like flimsy.
Right.
Like it can easily.
I think this might have been one of the ones that we've broken. Like the outer metal
Inserting
casing
into,
comes
yeah.
out because like when
Yeah.
you
Grab
put it
another
in when you put it in an enclosure that has too tight of a housing, the little pins, the little legs that hold onto the PCB of the little component will come off, and I think that's one of the ones that we tried to salvage, but yeah, it only happens again if you're brute forcing that thing into something that's too tight, and I think that's what.
Okay, so
we did.
now I can do it the proper way.
Okay.
Grab it from this side, go in there.
Ah,
This guy's gonna drop, which is okay. And then you got all of your pins right there,
yeah, your
so they don't fly everywhere.
excess pins in the garbage below.
Grab this.
Components break. It happens.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
they're
the
so
fragile
tiny,
ones,
I
you
mean.
know. When you really, I mean, it's the metal slide switch is pretty tough, but you know we've beat it up pretty bad.
Oh, how about I disconnect the battery?
Oh, shnikey. Because it's flaky, you know. That's funny.
Before anything
Soldering
touches.
a live battery, huh? Dangerous. Here, I'll
Tin
zoom
this
in
guy.
too. Enhance. Always get 2 slide switches. Just buy a bunch of them.
Yeah. One of the
And
things we go
buttons too.
through
Buttons
a
can
lot.
break sometimes.
Yeah.
Like you accidentally like I don't know, solder it or something. Melt it. Oh no.
What was that?
Like I've done that before. I've melted the actuator on the button,
Oh yeah.
being clumsy or whatever.
Should have used the tweezers so I can get more in there.
Oh, I've been missing out. Let me scroll back a bit, try to catch your guys' comments here.
Somebody warning me, no, it's still plugged in.
No. Hello, okay. I think Rishkesh is asking, is it the 1000C? Yes, it's the PowerBoost 1000C.
All right, this one is good. You can hear by the...
Hello from Israel, hello from India.
From the little click, this one stays and doesn't just slide around. All right, back to where we were before. We had a faulty slide switch.
Is there an Adafruit distributor in Moscow? Yes, try looking in adafruit.com/distributors and look for your location.
How's my framing? So I can continue. Okay. All right, so where we last left off, we'll plug that in. We'll add a little loop to this, like that, or twist the wire around. You want to put it underneath the battery so it's not on top of here. And then we will mount that in like that. To keep the driver board nicely connected to the battery, we'll add just a teeny bit more of this mounting tack. Just take this. Again, you don't need too much for this side, or for the top there.
Okay, so you're sandwiching the driver board on top of the battery?
Yeah. Don't stick it down yet, because we're going to need to angle this when we insert it into the case. And then for the power boost, which I totally forgot to mention, we have this little riser. I print it out. So because of the JST connection on here, it's the tallest part of the power boost, as you can see. So the way to level that out, because that's where the transmitter is going to sit on top of, we got this little guy here. So you can look at where the cutout is for the JST connector, and that's going to level everything out. So what we're going to do is take all these wires, push them over like that, and put them underneath the power boost riser. So these are all little pins that just snap in like that. Let me make sure this one's in all the way.
George is asking, what's the voltage of the battery? It's a 3.7 volt battery, LiPo battery.
Yeah.
But the power boost will regulate it, boost it up to 5 volts, which is what both the driver for the LCD and the receiver needs.
Okay, so we'll move that over, line frame.
Yeah, you can move up a little bit. Yep, right there. And then over to your right head. There you go. Cool. This is a really great way of reusing the mounts, the mounting holes on the power boost to add another mount for another component.
So this is completely leveling out with the JST connection on top, because we don't want to rip that out. I mean, we could, but again, that's cool. We wanted to make this easier.
Jeez, this is really compact, like circuit sandwich.
Yeah. Okay, so that's in there as well. Oh, let me go ahead and remove all these tags that was helping me out with tell me what is what. Which is definitely a good idea to do, since as you're soldering everything together, you will get lost. Even with everything being color coded, you only have so many colors that you can.
You're off frame.
Play with. That's fine. All I'm doing is just removing all the labels here that I have.
Sorry.
This is just blue tape that we cut up.
Oh, there's a concern. Will the battery get punctured?
No, this is totally flat underneath here. There's nothing sticking out.
Right, there's no pins or anything.
Yeah, there's no pins. There's.
And if you wanted to, you could just wrap it in gaffer's tape. Super secure.
Gaffers or Kapton. There's actually Kapton underneath.
Well, as a cushion, like as a protection.
Yeah, you could do that. But it's completely flat. It's all masked on the bottom there. Yep.
What about the other side of the battery? It's completely flat.
Yeah, it's all completely flat.
It's just the metal backing of the
Yeah.
LCD. Right?
It's all completely flat. Yeah, it's just metal, or metal, tin, whatever.
It's all good. Yeah. Definitely good to be,
Yeah, if
cautious
it was,
of your battery and
I
puncturing.
would have made little Ninja Flex mounts, so the rubber would have
pocket.
Either a pocket, but most likely something like this, so that it like little feet, like little
Sure.
rubber feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me move this over, which actually. It's gonna go like that.
Oh, so you're orienting the
Okay.
the receiver so that the LEDs are
Tricky part
viewable.
is inserting this guy into there. So you want to make sure that this guy is out a little bit, and you want to angle this guy in. And this guy should go right in place like that. I actually should have added this after I put it in. The riser.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then this guy should angle in.
Just shove it in there, guys. You gotta be very careful.
Yeah. You can feel it should, the little stoppers that are on the inside. There's that blue.
The guards or something.
Yeah, they're these little guards here that prevent the display from moving around.
Right.
So you'll feel when it goes all the way down into there. And if you're scared of, getting this in there, you could take the ribbon cable out of there, insert this separately, but then you gotta reattach it.
You
You
don't have enough
inside
clearance to reattach
Exactly, yeah. Okay, next thing we're gonna do is forget you put your riser back in.
Yeah.
If it came off. Snap that back in, like that. And that is what's gonna be the hold this guy in place.
Yeah. So that connector goes through the hole?
Yep, it's gonna go right in like that.
Cool. So there's a hole up there on the side of the case.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Hopefully that was all in frame.
It was for a second, yeah.
Take your slide switch, and you're just gonna pop it in like that. Should just slide in.
Can I add something? I would say make sure you test your components, your circuit,
Yes,
before you insert it.
definitely, yeah.
Does it actually turn on?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, great.
It's all on like that.
It does. Good. Because the last thing you want to do is put everything in, turn
there,
it on,
yeah.
and nothing turns on. You're like, what
Exactly,
happened?
yeah. So we'll turn that off for now.
Okay.
Have that in. Oh, my wife's calling me. Hey. Hello? No, I'm almost done. Just get home. Alright, love you. Bye.
One of the benefits of being live. You
Yeah.
get live phone calls.
It's like Gavin and Brandy were at the pool, so coming back. All right, so once everything is inside there, we're just going to play wire management over here. Wrap everything up. The one thing you want to do though is keep all of the wires away from the.
Could you tack them in place or
You just move
heat
them.
shrink tubing, something?
The.
Move it up a bit. You're off center.
Oh,
Thanks.
okay. I think I totally forgot to do this.
What's
Put
that?
them underneath the board, like that. The band and the channel.
Okay.
So those are underneath there, like that. And I'll just put that right back in place, like that. And you can move all of the other wires around. So.
Tuck the wires.
Tuck them. And go in there like that. One thing you want to do to keep this in place, you can add your antenna
Oh, cool.
Because that's also going to help, to keep it in place. Because this is going to hug
All right.
right on that right there.
You can apply some force.
Yeah, like that. And then there you go. A completed FPV. Turn that guy on. And that's it. So once we are, because this is a 5.8 or 2.8 gigahertz, as soon as I turn on the quadcopter, our Wi-Fi
cuts out,
goes either stops. So there we go.
We were gonna get a Cat 5 cable and run it through here,
but
I need the lightning connector adapter and all this extra baggage.
So the last part is the little clamps right here. If you're going to use this to attach it to your transmitter right here, all you need are
the antenna is, it's specific to this, what is it, deviation transmitter. So you might have to tweak the design or make your own mounting thing for it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, your quadcopter is going to be different. It's going to have a different thing. Yeah. So look at where, take measurements and see if it's going to fit.
Well, we have all the Fusion 360 files, so you can.
There you go. So it's a two-piece.
Yeah, so it's two-piece. You can edit the sketch that builds this out, and it should update throughout the entire design to where it does all the splits and everything.
Or if you just need it really quick, and you're on the go, Sugru will help you. Sugru will.
Yeah, but then you can't easily, adjust it, take it off.
It'll fill it in.
Oh, yeah.
But it'll permanently mount it to whatever you're trying to mount it to. But it's up to you. You could always remember this is a GoPro mount, so you can stick that to any assortment of GoPro mount things.
And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, you ready to roll the video?
That's it. Yeah.
Let's check it out. We showed this off on 3D Hangout yesterday, where we were just showing this. And next week coming up, the project video of us flying it out and giving it a test drive will be out. The learning guide and everything will be out next week.
Yeah.
So the guide isn't live yet, just let you know now, but this video will be embedded into that guide.
Okay, cool. And that's pretty much it.
Thank you guys so much for joining. Again, if you guys have any questions, leave them in any of the YouTube comments, any of the YouTube videos.
And if you make one,
we'll gather them up.
Make sure to send us a link.
Yeah,
how it works.
We'll share it.
Send us a video.
Share it on the blog.
And
happy flying, be safe. If you're in the States, consider registering to the FAA. FAA.
All right, guys. See you.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys again.
Peace.
Happy making.
Flying.
Bye, guys.